Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you guys how to use Assimil French with Ease book as a side resource. It is to be noted that I have finished this book more than 7 times. Being an expert language learner, I am making this video to help you guys get most out of this book. Before starting, I just want you to keep few very important things in mind. Number 1. Assimil series updates its book from time to time. While the stories and print quality changes in this book, the learning methodology remains exactly the same. So whatever version of book you have managed to buy, these tips will work for all. Number 2. This video teaches you how to use it as a side resource. If you want to use it as a main resource, make sure to check its video. In fact, check both videos and then decide which method suits you best, main resource or side activity. I have made both videos and you can watch both videos and you can finally decide which version you wish to, which method you wish to use, which will suit you the best. Number 3. If you have not bought this book and wondering if it's right for you, I have a detailed review video about Assmil book, and in one of its sections I show for who this book will work great and who will find it too difficult or useless. So you can check that out. Alright, let's go into studying this book. So here is how it goes. So we are at the first lesson and I will go to the first sentence and I will listen it and also speak it along with reading, making sure my pronunciation is 100% correct. Then look at translation. Here's what it all looks like.
Première leçon.
Première leçon.
À Paris.
À Paris.
Pardon, madame.
Pardon, madame.
Où est le métro Saint-Michel?
Où est le métro Saint-Michel? Now I'm gonna go to a translation. Pardon, madame. Excuse me, madam. Pardon, madam. Où est le métro Saint-Michel? Where is the metro station Saint-Michel? Where is the metro Saint-Michel? So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go through the grammar. Number 1. So we will come over here to number 1. French is quite a formal language in many ways, and the use of monsieur and madame when addressing strangers of almost any age is general rule. Then there is further explanation also here. Then once I read through number 1, I will go to number 2 and read it all. Alright, understood. Now I will repeat it. Typically I have to listen once and then I know how the pronunciation, how to correctly pronounce it. But if you want to listen to it again, sure. In my case, I don't need, I know how to pronounce correctly. Pardon, mesdames, où est le métro Saint-Michel? So now I am like translating in my head. Pardon, madam, excuse me, madam, where is the metro station Saint-Michel? Now I'm gonna check my pronunciation to make sure it's correct. I'm gonna check my translation to make sure that it's correct. Excuse me, pardon madam, where is the metro station Saint-Michel? So my translation was correct. Once first sentence is done like this, I will proceed on the second sentence. So here's the second sentence. I'm going to do exactly the same things that I have done. And I will just finish this entire lesson like this, all the way to number 10 lesson. It is to be noted that the first time you read it, you will be like listening and reading and also looking at the grammar points. So the first read will take the most amount of time. So once the first read is done, in the later stages, it will be much easier. One more thing I want to emphasize. When you are doing the first reading will take most amount of time. So as you are doing this as side activity, first of all, I think you should be able to do this. I mean, devote enough time even for a side activity to do just one lesson at a time. Don't worry about more than one. Just do one lesson at a time if you are using this book as a side resource. But if you are not able to complete the lesson properly in first read, in that case, you can finish remaining sentences later, that day or even tomorrow. But most of you studying here, you will be able to finish 11 lessons easily each day. Let me give you an example. Let's just say when I'm doing it, I'm reading it. Let's just say, for some reason I didn't have time, was very busy. If I could only do the 5 lessons on the first read, that's fine. I will do it. Tomorrow I will start with number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Once I do the first read, when the first reading part is over, I have completed this lesson all the way to number 10 lesson. Then I will go to the second read. What does second read look like? Let me show you. So in second read, I will go back to the first sentence and read again and translate it in my head. Then check to make sure translations are correct. After which I will proceed with next sentence. Here is what it looks like. So I'm going to read it. Again, if you want to listen to the audio, sure, I don't at this point. I mean, once I listen to the audio, I know how the pronunciation works. So I just read directly. Pardon, madame, où est le métro Saint-Michel? Pardon, madame, excuse me, madame, où est le métro Saint-Michel? Where is the metro Saint-Michel? I'm gonna check now the translation. Excuse me, madam, where is the metro station Saint-Michel? Again, correct, it was correct. I'm gonna do it exactly the same all the way to sentence number 10, right? Read, translate, double check translation, right? Now I'm gonna go to the third read. This is what third read looks like. So I will again go to the first sentence, read again, but this time I will not be translating in my head. I will be connecting my sentences to my memories. Remember, when we read or talk or listen in native language, we don't translate in our heads. We use memories to connect it. Similarly, when I read the sentence, I will be making memories in my head, making sense of the situation as if I was there in conversation. Here is what it looks like. So, pardon, madame, où est le métro Saint-Michel? So, when I said it, I didn't translate. I instead was making memories, just like I would do in my native language. Again, for the second sentence, le métro Saint-Michel, attendez une minute. Now, I want to give you another example. If, let's just say, in the third read, you forgot that what attendez meant. Sure, check it. Wait, okay. So, wait a minute, attendez. Alright. Now I knew it, I'm going to read the sentence again, but this time again not translating, just directly connecting memories, no English in my head. Le métro Saint-Michel, attendez une minute. Okay, understood. Now I'm going to go to a third, fourth, fifth, and just like that go to the number 10 sentence. So this is the third read. Now before moving on the next step, after the third step, I want to emphasize something. Usually when you read at the third time, you might get problems like you will forget, oh my god, what this means, what this word means, etc. Right? It is pretty common on third read that you might forget it. So, if you have trouble reading in the during the third read, just go back again and read again, while not translating in your head. So, on fourth time I will again read. Let's just say even on the fourth time I was having issues with certain words. Not a problem. Read again fifth time, sixth time. But typically in 99% cases, when I went through this text the fourth time, everything was clear. It was in my head. It was embedded in my head. Once this part is done, we will go into the next step. Okay, so now everything is clear. I can read without directly in French. I don't need to translate it in English, and I can make sense of the story. Now I will read and listen at the same time. It looks something like this.
Première leçon. À Paris.
Pardon, madame. Où est le métro Saint-Michel?
Le métro Saint-Michel. Attendez une minute.
So you see, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read at the speed of it's being spoken. So I'm connecting audio and the reading. Basically, if my brain failed to make sense of this conversation at the speed of audio, I will repeat it again until I can read and listen at the same time easily. So again, if you want to, typically I am able to do it on the first try, but if not, go ahead, read and listen again, read and listen again. It doesn't take long at all. So after this step is successful, I will this time close my eyes and listen only and make sense of the conversation. Here is what it looks like. Again, there is no English translation. I am directly connecting French to memories. This is very important. This is how we think in our native language. We need to take our French directly. We need to make sense of the French language directly in our head. So I'm going to close my eyes and listen to it.
Première leçon. À Paris.
Pardon, madame. Où est le métro Saint-Michel?
Le métro Saint-Michel. Attendez une minute.
So at this stage, all I wanted to do is to listen to it and make sense of it. If I failed at the first time, I can do it third time, but typically it is not needed, I understand. Also, I want to add for something else. This is the first lesson. At this stage, in the first lesson, the audio is slow, but as you progress, it will become faster and faster, and eventually it will reach the speed of when French speakers naturally talk. So it will go pretty fast. But right now it's slow and it's easy, but later on it will become more faster. So don't worry if you can't understand it, listen multiple times. Alright? Don't worry about it. Alright, once it's all done, we will go into the exercises. So let's go to the exercises. I will just close this. Actually, even for the exercises there is audio, so if you want to listen to it, sure. So okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna translate it. The answers are over here. I'm gonna do the exercise. They don't take a lot of time. They are very easy. And they reinforce your French. So just do it. After that, fill in the blanks. I just want to add. So I actually have a real book, and don't write in these fill in the blanks areas. Instead, take another copy and write there. The reason for this, and if in future you want to make revisions and you also want to do exercises on those revisions, the answers will be, I'm using my hand again. Okay, so the answers will be actually here in this book, and then you won't be able to make revisions properly, so just write it down in copy and then double check it, or here the answers are over here as you can see. So just do it like that. So yeah, this is pretty much it, and the day 1 is done. We are now going to go to day number 2. Alright, so now it's day number 2. Instead of jumping on new lesson, first go and revise old lesson you did yesterday. Read it 3 times. First read the whole lesson directly in French and don't translate. Even if you have trouble with vocabulary, just go through it and use your memory. Then read again, and this time translate in English and check your translation. Then read again in French only. Here is what it looks like. So I'm gonna read this. Pardon, madame, où est le métro Saint-Michel? I'm not translating in head, I'm directly connecting in memories. Le métro Saint-Michel, attendez une minute. Let's just say I forgot about it, what this word is. I'm gonna read this sentence couple of times and try to guess what this word means. Even if I fail, I'm not checking on the first read. So I'm gonna just, if it's not working, not a problem, I will skip it. I will go to number 3 sentence. Nous sommes à Boulevard Saint-Michel, La Fontaine et là-bas. So, again I'm gonna just complete it. First read, knowing the translation direct. I'm connecting French with my memories. Now, on the second read, I'm gonna do reading as well as translating. So, pardon, madame, où est le métro Saint-Michel? Excuse me, madam, where is the metro Saint-Michel? So, my translation was correct. I read it, thought it in my head, and then translated, and then checked the translation. So, my translation was correct, and now I'm gonna go all the way to number 10 sentence, then again come back, and I'm gonna read again in French only. And that's it. This is how it's done. Again, if you want to do exercise, sure. If not, me personally, I never revise exercises. I only focus on the main stories during revisions, but if you want to do exercises, sure. Revisions are very quick. They don't take a long time at all. The first time you read a new story, it will take a long time. So it is just there. Alright, day 2 is done. Now we can go to where is the next lesson? Yeah, then now we can go on the next lesson and do it exactly as we do it. We will do it exactly as we did the first time, the first lesson, and it's gonna take a lot of time. So yeah, we are gonna do it. Just remember that whenever you look, revisions are very important. You have to do revisions every single day. Revise first, then go to a new lesson. Revise first, then go to a new lesson. You have to do that. Alright, so every day new lessons, and as well as the previous day, the lesson of the previous day, you need to revise it. Now we will go to day 7. If you want to do more revision in next days, that's fine. If you want to revise 2 or 3 lessons that you have done previous days, that's fine, do it. But in my case, I will revise only one previous day lesson until I reach day 7. On day 7, you will come across grammar lessons. Read it all as you like and also revise yesterday lessons. But then go back and read all 6 previous lessons. Remember, revisions are very fast, so don't worry about it. Here's what it looks like. So if you come over here, so on day 7 we have revisions, and basically these are grammar things that you can read. So just read it all, understand, and once you are done with this, make sure to revise this lesson number 6. Alright, you revised it, this is what you did last day. Now go back and revise this lesson. Read directly in French, don't translate it. Alright, so just do it, lesson number 1. If you have problem with a word or something, not a problem, go and check it, and then read again, and make sure you don't get stuck in that part. If you get stuck in that part, again read the whole story. Alright, if you are successful, you didn't get stuck, then you can go to lesson number 2, and again same way, read again, and then again if you are not stuck in 2, proceed in 3. Just say you got stuck in this sentence and this sentence, not a problem, read again and again. Once you can read properly in French without the need of translation, without missing any, like you don't know what this word means or this sentence means, then proceed on next, and all the way to number 5, and then simply number 6. You have already revised this, so that won't be needed, and this is how you will proceed. Alright, let me tell you something else. Once you finish this entire book, make sure to revise it again at least one time. Just one time revise it again. Me, I actually revised it 7 times. Now another thing, if you prefer this side activity method, sure, use it. Also check the video where I have made it. I've shown how to use this lesson as a main resource. Which one will I choose? So let me answer you. Next time I'm going to use Assmil, I'm going to use it as a side resource. I'm not going to use it as a main resource. It's a great book, very good book, and you have to use it. But as a side resource, it works better. When I will be starting a new language, I will be, basically when I learn a language, I go to B2 level. And if you want to go to B2 level, then it's advised that you start with proper grammar book, self-teaching grammar book. So I'll be using a self-teaching grammar book or video course or whatever it is, as well as using Assmil as a side activity, not main activity. So just keep that in mind. Alright, next step. I am a person who has learned a lot of languages. Let me tell you something. In order to progress fast, study slow. If you don't revise, you will lose all the hard work you have put on day 1. Never skip revisions. Make time for it. Alright? If you have found this video useful, give it a like. It tells YouTube that this video is useful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop down in comments, and I will see you guys again.